Ladies and gentlemen, hello, hello, hello. So this is gonna be a awkward video, kind of. Maybe not, I don't know. I'm trying something new out. So I went for a run, just got back, showered up, feeling really good, feeling really good. And what I'm doing is I'm going on a run and I am studying new things that I want to study. Basically, I'm taking a book. Right now, it's the book called The Structure of Magic, Volume 1 by Richard Bandler, talking about neurolinguistic programming. And I loaded that up into chat, and then I have chat talk with me about that book. And what we did was we identified some learning objectives and some samples of behavior for me to reference and apply during my study time, all while I am running on a run, talking about embodiment. So they say that the best way to learn is to really embody whatever it is that you're learning. And when you want to embody something, you get the heart rate up and you get excited, you move, you get emotional, energy in motion, move. So I thought, I could just study while I run and really get the lessons or the learning objectives in my body. So and I want to take that learning, that content, and then structure it in a way that I can then present to y'all in the form of sharing, because they say that talking about it and sharing is the best way to learn. So that's what I'm doing. Anyway, so I've got the structure here. We're just testing this out. So what I studied on the run was a NLP thing, an NLP, I guess, a learning objective that I identified as being able to identify somebody's internal map that basically influences their experience of something. So basically, what I was doing was I was running and practicing and applying this specific thing in conversation with chat. Okay. And so because I'm doing this, I'm role playing with chat. I'm practicing. I'm applying. So chat will come to me as a potential client, and then that client will come to me with a perceived issue or perceived problem that they want help with solving, and then I apply the recognition or the identification of this person's internal map. All right. So the learning objective is to treat people's problems as the result of a limited internal map, not reality, and help them create more choices. Basically, it's to help people feel more empowered and let them know that they aren't broken and that their map, relative to this specific experience that is causing them pain, is small, and we are going to help them expand this map to empower them. All right. So the core skill is to reflect the current map. So chat would talk to me and say, basically something like, I have a problem with XYZ. And then I would say, okay, so if I'm hearing you correctly, your problem is you have a problem with XYZ because XYZ. And then what I'm doing is I'm not necessarily agreeing with I'm not agreeing with them. I am just mapping, understanding how someone is structuring their experience of something. Jesus. I had a sinus infection and I am beating it. I'm overcoming it. All right. So once I reflect their current map, then I name or identify the limitation. So it sounds like in your current way of seeing this, your options feel really narrow. Is that an accurate observation? And then of course, if it's accurate or not accurate, I'll get feedback. Again, I'm not arguing, I'm just identifying structure. And then at the step 3 is to open up choice with a question. So what would it look like if there was another option for this specific situation or scenario? Okay, so the goal, 3 steps, identify the map, um, and name the limitation, and then offer options in the form of a question. Okay, so some of the examples that Chat and I were going with was um, the idea of always having to say yes to people. If I say no, I'm selfish and people will reject me. The core shift is with a question is it actually true that saying no means you don't care? No, it's not true, but that is a question that I asked to identify options. All right. Another example that we talked about was I have to fix everything. This is a common issue people feel that they have, feeling like I have to fix everything, especially guys. So the belief that was uncovered was being supportive means I am always responding. If I'm not always responding, then I am not a supportive person, and I don't want to be perceived as a non-supportive person, right? So the core shift with the question was, what would it look like to still be supportive without responding every single time? So what I'm doing is I'm identifying the map, I'm acknowledging the map, identifying the limiting belief, and then offering options in the form of a question. All right. So some of the samples of behavior that in order for me to measure whether or not I understand this concept, there are samples of behavior that I must apply. One of them is whether or not I can restate the problem as a map, not truth. This is really important. It's just a map. It's not truth, right? It feels real for people, whatever it is that they're experiencing, because they're experiencing it, but it's not an actual truth. Okay? And then I avoid giving advice. That's a sample of behavior 2. Sample of behavior 3 is I can ask questions that increase options. So asking questions like, what would it look like if you had another option, or is there anything you can do to shift this experience? Things like that. Can I help them see their belief is learned, not absolute? So one thing we were working on in this little dialogue was asking questions and getting down to the root event, or some sort of childhood situation where the individual learned this limiting belief. Again, it's not a truth, it's just a map. It's just neural structuring. So at one point in all of our lives, the belief patterns that are neurologically structured to have was something that was structured due to an event, typically significant in childhood. So I pretty much everyone's gonna have some sort of childhood event where they learned um, whatever limiting belief we have. And then, can I guide them to a new choice point? That's critical. One thing I've been working on is this idea of identifying choice relative to the external or relative to the internal. Ideally, you'd want to highlight choices relative to the internal because that's the thing that we have the most control over. But there are things that you could do externally as well. Why this matters. So most people don't feel stuck because life is impossible. They feel stuck because they're trapped inside a map they learned years ago and never questioned. When we see this word map, it's neural structuring. Think of your neurons like roads in a map, and one road is going to be the experience of love, and another road is going to be the experience of fear, another road joy, another road laughter, whatever, right? And these roads are structured in a very unique and specific way based on the person's life experiences. So one person's road might, for love, for example, might say that in order for this road to light up, for electricity to flow down this road, the electricity has to come from over here first. Some sort of let's like a gateway. call it belief system. When I hug another person, I feel love. So that's the neurological structure, right? Or in these examples, I have to say, in order for me to feel supportive, in order for me to feel supportive, that neurological line, I have to say yes to everybody and help them. That is the structure, the map, of this example. Anyway, this is a 10-minute video. I was going for 9 minutes, but that's okay. Let's see. Calls to action. So, for anyone watching this, if you want to apply this, if you ever feel stuck, ask yourself what options am I not seeing? And if this resonates, uh, if this resonates, drop a comment, share, tell me about it, and I'll be coming up with more of these videos. Yeah, this is just pure raw, like no practice, no prep, really, just kind of talking with chat, and this is just a concept that I'm thinking of. But I do want to I want to share with everybody what I am doing to improve my life, because there might be one, probably two people at the very least out there that are going to benefit from watching this. So enjoy and peace. Love you. Bye.